Being recorded.
Well, I'm excited because I did not think our phenomenal coach Dan would be back. I've been following him as he was in South Africa. Truly delighted on seeing the children. I mean, they don't fall from the tree. I mean, they are a chip off the old block. They were motivating. They were celebrating birthdays. They were teaching. They were learning. They were immersed in the South African culture, sharing theirs and learning theirs. It was exciting to watch. And so I'm just flat out excited about him being here. I'm sure he's got some words of wisdom. Guys, none other than our own Coach Dan, Pastor Dan, world renowned traveler, motivator, counselor all over the world, our own Coach Dan. Take it away. I hope this is you empowerment. If it's not, I gave you a big introduction, but I meant everything I said. So is this you,
What's
Coach
going
Dan?
on?
I better
Hey,
be.
my fellas.
Hey.
Well, you got it all almost right. I am still here in South Africa. It
Oh
is
my goodness.
3 p.m. Today is National Heritage Day here in South Africa. This is our last day, and we'll be flying out tomorrow. We'll be back in Chicago on Thursday morning. And so, since I am here and since I am up, I said, let me jump on this
Like that
call and
on us.
talk to
I
my
can hear you.
family. Can you hear me good?
Yes. Yes, you kind of go out and in, but yeah, I can hear you right now.
All right, all right. Well, so again, greetings from the motherland. We're here right now. We're in East London, part of South Africa, during mission and ministry. It has been a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. And as you said, Miss Phyllis, I am so grateful that my children um, has not only traveled with me, but all three of my children have actively participated both in the mission as well as in the ministry. And so truly it's exciting times to see them in their own way and in their own personalities and in their own gifts to help to serve the people. And we were having brunch earlier, and they all said they'll be back with me in April. I'll be taking a group of people with me in April, and they all said that they're going to be on the bus with us. And so we're grateful for that. But listen, I just wanted to encourage you as we are coming up to the end of this month, and we're getting ready to go into the last quarter. We're getting ready to go into the last quarter of this year. And I was thinking about what is it that I would share with you guys. And a lot of different things came to mind about, we got to finish strong. And of course, I want you to do that. Another thought came to mind to encourage you to know that there's still time. And guess what? It is still time. And then there was another thought that said, don't give up. I don't want you to give up. And then as I continue to ponder and think about what is it that I would share, um, and that is this: don't stop moving. And don't stop moving is different than don't give up. Because the truth of the matter is, you could stop moving and still be in the midst of what's going on. You could stay with the business and continue to just go through the motions, but really not seeing any forward moving progress because you've gotten either A, comfortable with what you've achieved, or you've gotten complacent with what you've achieved, or you've gotten comfortable with not achieving at all and just being okay with just being in the mix, just being in the company, just watching those that are becoming successful, and so you become stable with. You're not stable, but you become stagnant in your position. One of the things my princess and I always fuss and fight about She and I are always fussing and fighting, believe it or not. And it's not a lot, but when we do fuss and fight, I say always, but I'm exaggerating. But one of the things we fuss and fight about is I always tell her, I said, why is it that you continue to watch and follow the stars and not do the work to become one yourself? Why is it that you continue to highlight, support, and do all of those things to the individuals that has made a conscious decision to pursue their dreams, to pursue their purpose, to pursue their goals and their vision, while you sit and just kind of move idly by? And I think sometimes we say to ourselves that we can't do it subconsciously. We don't articulate the words. We go through the motions, but we become okay with not getting it done. And not only do we become okay with not getting it done, we're looking for somebody else to do it for us. And what I want to surmise to you today is that if you're not progressing in your business, if you're not progressing in your life, if you're not moving forward, if you're not seeing increase, the only person that you can point to for the immobility of your vision, the immobility of your dream, the immobility of your destiny is you. Sunday, in our last discourse presentation, I had to speak about 5 times within 3 days. It was a marathon, it felt like. And just this morning, I was teaching back at a Bible Institute back in Chicago. So I was up at 3 a.m. this morning teaching because it was 7 a.m. there. And one of the things that the dean of the institute said is that I'm so committed. And he began to talk about my commitment and my sacrifice that I'm making to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning there. I'm here in South Africa teaching there. And why would I do that or what have you? It's because I take ownership of who I am, and I absolutely love doing it. But the other reason is because I believe in who I am. I believe in what it is I'm supposed to do. And the question that I have for those of you that's on this line, that's listening to me go on have this conversation with you, is what do you believe? Because what I understand about life is that our belief system is going to dictate, number one, how we think, number two, what we say, and number three, what we do. Because if you don't believe you can, you never will. If you don't believe that you have the capacity, then you'll never know whether or not you have it or not, because you'll never try. If you don't believe that you're qualified, then you're going to continue to disqualify yourself. You hear me say to you all the time, don't tell yourself no without asking for a yes. Some of us, our immobility has come not because we don't want it, but because we don't believe that we can have it. And when you don't believe that you can have it, you'll never go after it. So as I speak to you today, as you enter into moving into the last quarter of 2024, the question I have, if you see yourself becoming stagnant, if you see yourself becoming immobile, if you don't see progress, if you don't see movement, the question that I want you to ask yourself is, do you really believe? Because, and if you can be honest with yourself and say, you know what? No, I'm starting to lose my confidence in this. I'm starting to lose my confidence in myself. I'm starting to lose my confidence in the system, whatever it is. And then once you're honest with yourself, then now you have a choice. It was at midnight this morning. Princess and I was talking by the pool, and we were talking about mental illness, mental health. And I said something to her that some of you may not agree with, and she didn't agree with it initially either. I said, I believe that mental health, to be mentally healthy is a choice. But I also believe that to be mentally ill is also a choice. And her forehead got wrinkled. And she said, what do you mean? You mean people choose to be mentally ill? I said, probably not. They don't choose to become mentally ill. But I believe sometimes they choose to stay mentally ill. Because, and she said, but Dad, what do you mean? And so I told her a story about a colleague of mine who was a flight attendant for United. And some of you may have heard this story before. She was a flight attendant for United, and she was scheduled to be on flight 93 on 9/11. And that day, she decided to ask her best friend to take that flight because she didn't feel like going. And everybody knows what happened that day. She lost her best friend, along with many of the other lives that was lost as a result of that tragedy. And for a year, she wouldn't get out of bed. For a year, she wouldn't wash up. She wouldn't do anything. And finally, her mother came and asked her, there's something that I could do. And so I went and talked to her. And I guess I didn't talk to her about why she was in the position she was in, because I knew why. I didn't talk to her about the pain that she was feeling, because I couldn't relate, but I could understand, why she could feel the pain. But I talked to her about where she desired to be in her life. I talked to her about her dreams. And it's from that conversation I got her to come and work with me. And she began to work with me for a year. And the long story short, she went on to pastor and do a bunch of great things. And she's still doing a bunch of great things today. Now, that was a process. But there was another person that was part of our prayer ministry who was going through manic depression and had been home for about 30 days. And her mother thought that she was going to commit suicide and all kind of crazy stuff. And in a phone conversation on the phone, like I'm talking to you, I challenged her in purpose, and I challenged her in her belief system, and we prayed and we spoke the word of God. And she literally came out of depression. She made a decision. I told her to get up, put on some clothes, go to breakfast. She followed everything I told her. And the testimony is on Facebook because she just posted something this month about the anniversary of how she made a decision not to be defeated by depression. I'm saying to you that no matter how grave the circumstance and the situation that you may be in this moment, no matter how defeated that you may feel because you have not reached the goal, you have not seen movement in what it is that you've been seeking to achieve. I'm saying to you in this moment, all the way from South Africa, which was something that it was a dream that I had as a little young man out of the worst community of Chicago with a cocaine addict mother and a heroin addict father that was homeless. But I had a dream that one day I would come to South Africa and I would do work in South Africa and I would help people in South Africa. And despite all of the bumps and bruises that I had along the journey, not only am I here, but I made it here with 3 of my children, and it's a great work that we're doing here. I'm saying to you, God is not a respecter of person, but he is a respecter of faith. And what you believe and what you have faith in is what's going to activate you to move in your life. But here's the trick. Faith without works, belief without works is absolutely dead. And that's why I opened this up to say, I'm going to encourage you in this moment to keep on moving. Your steps may be smaller than the next person's steps. Your progress may take longer than the next person's progress. But at the end of the day, if you do not stop and if you keep on moving, you will eventually get to where that next person was. As they keep on moving, they will eventually get to that next level. The only way you don't grow is if you stop moving. The only way you don't progress is if you stop moving. And so in this last quarter, as I get ready to wrap this up, I encourage you, whether it's in business, whatever it is that you're dealing with, whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that you're hoping for, continue to believe and continue to pursue, and eventually you will possess. Hopefully that was encouraging to you, insightful to you. I'm going to pass it back to you, my Phyllis. Thank y'all so much. I can't wait to get back home. I'll be glad to come, then I'm glad to leave. So I cannot wait to get back home and see you guys really, really soon. Until next time, as always, prosper.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Such good advice, such something for us to go and put into action. But I'm speaking right now as a mom. And I'm speaking, telling you it's 3:30 there. You were up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You were working in the United States while you're in Africa. And you sound like you need some rest. So just like we can choose mental health and not to be mentally unhealthy, we can choose good health. And I'm telling you, I'm not the coach. Sometimes the coach needs a coach. And right now, I'm telling you, my friend, my son, my motivator, my partner, that I need you to get some rest. Just commit to when you get home, even sleeping on the plane, that you're going to get some rest. Because we need you to continue to bless us, to guide us, to lead us, to open our eyes to new possibilities. And you got to choose to be healthy. And I'm not saying you subconsciously don't do it, but I need you to get some rest. So with that,
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Listen, I did not sleep on the 24 hours I was in the air coming. I don't know why, but I am going to commit to sleep coming, because I'll land on Thursday and I'm back out on the road and speaking somewhere else out of state on Saturday for Sunday. And then I'm doing a financial empowerment boot camp in New York that following weekend. So y'all be praying for me, because guess what? I will rest, but I'm going to keep on moving.
You can keep on.
Y'all be blessed. I love y'all. Love you, Miss Phyllis. And until next time again, prosper.
Okay, guys. And hey, everybody, y'all know that we got Battle of the Blood Types. I was getting ready to tell him he got to be there, but he won't be, and that'll be taking some part of his rest. So I won't insist that he come to the Battle of the Blood Types. But he needs to eat good too. And so, as if you all on the line and don't know what the Battle of the Blood Types is that each blood type A, B, O, and AB is going to be representing, and we're going to be cooking some delicious, delicious food. And as you know, we're going to be battling against one another. You can eat from any table there. You can eat from any blood type, since you're just sampling, because some of it, the foods are neutral. But guys, if you're not getting out people, I don't care if you're not working on one of the teams, if you're a distributor, if you're not even here in Chicago, you need to be pushing people towards your site to buy that admission ticket for the Battle of the Blood Types on Saturday, 12 to 4 p.m. And with that being said, it is Tuesday. And it's Dr. Betty on here so she can announce her event. She's not on here this morning, but Tuesday is her call, 7 p.m. this evening. With that being said, guys, go out and have a kind of day and push. Bye now.